Hello, my people. As you see, as you see in this video, in my side about this DW News, this DW News, German state-owned public broadcasting propaganda. This is one of the Western propaganda. As you're gonna see in this video, how they want to push the agenda immediately. They say they are doing documentary about fighting terrorism in Nigeria, but this documentary is a way of pushing propaganda, and I'm gonna tell you after you watch this. I'm gonna tell you how they push this propaganda, and I'll come back and tell you.
This is the hidden front line in Nigeria's war against terror. Footage, filmed by a soldier and sent to DW News, reveals the conditions his unit is forced to endure.
This is the place where soldiers are living. We face challenges during rainy season because of the leaky roof. We put tarpaulin up here, but it doesn't help much. So when rain falls, water pours in.
But his greatest fear isn't the leaky roof, it's the lack of ammunition. In the text, he told us, "We don't have enough arms and ammunition. Each soldier has 2 magazines and 30 rounds are loaded into each one. If the 60 rounds finish, that means they have endangered our lives. That is why you hear stories about soldiers running away from criminals." Yes, Nigerian soldiers fighting insurgents have posted videos like this online, complaining about poor welfare. With less than 300,000 active military personnel serving a nation of over 200 million, analysts say the system is stretched to its breaking point.
Yes, my people, as you see what they just immediately as they started this documentary, the first thing they said the soldier saying they don't have is ammunition. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you that this is a propaganda, a way of pushing for Africa to get more arms. You know what I mean? They want to say that this soldier doesn't have arms. They need more arms. That's where this is going. But our people, some of our people are naive. They don't see this stuff they are pushing. But they say they are doing documentary and they are showing you something, a leaky roof, tarpaulin, as they said. And immediately they started talking about their first point is talking about weapons. And I'm telling you that Africans, we don't need more weapons in Africa. We don't. We don't need more weapons in Africa because by the end of the day, these weapons is going to end up in the hands of terrorists. The terrorists are going to get this weapon that they want to push to Africa. This soldier is lamenting that they don't have more weapons to fight the terrorists. What of the weapons they have before? And this is what they do, the government there in Africa, they want to come to the West and beg for ammunition. And you're begging for ammunition to kill people that resemble you, not a different race, you're clear. And the thing is that when they get this info, because now, as it's obvious that the Nigerian military is compromised, you're bringing, they say you're giving them weapon, the terrorists have been getting this weapon. Where are they getting the weapon? It must be that the military are selling this weapon to these terrorists, and they're using it and say they're fighting terrorism. And they show you that they have leaky stuff. It's all about begging. You know what I mean? They want to appear. They want you to appear like, oh, they're doing something. They're fighting terrorism, and they don't have enough weapons. They want weapons, but even this man is trying to hide his face. The military man is trying to hide. But this is all fake, because what's happened is that is their top commander that's telling them to say this. Without the top commander telling them to engage in this documentary, they won't. And the their top commander or general, whoever is authorizing them to engage with this DW News, is telling them to say this, to say that they don't have weapon, they want more weapon. And who's going to gain from getting more weapon? Is their top commanders that are making this contract, buying this, spending money in the West, buying their ammunition, and they're bringing it to Africa. But the thing is that they bring it to Africa, they spend billions of dollars, and they don't do anything with it. It ends up in the hands of the terrorists. That's what they do. So bringing more ammunition, it doesn't help anything. It's just gonna be continue being like that. because there are people sponsoring these terrorists we have in some African countries, especially in Nigeria. There's people sponsoring them. There are people that pass them information to go and attack people and to go and kill innocent people. And the government knows about these people. They know how to stop these people, because you're telling people to give you more ammunition. Like the terrorists have more. Yeah, you want us to believe that the terrorists have more ammunition than a whole state, a whole country, a whole country in Africa. This is lie and propaganda, and they want to push this to our people, and our people take it hook and sink. You know what I mean? This is why we are here to bust this kind of propaganda that we see from the Western world. Because at the end of the day, if you're buying weapon, who is going to benefit? People making the weapon in the West. They have companies that engage in making weapons. They are the ones that are going to benefit from this stuff like this. Thank you for watching. Peace.